You can get it. Marvelous.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to the channel, y'all. And look. In today's video, we're gonna go over probably the most popular deck in the TCG streets at the moment. Fact, not an opinion. Fact. The deck we're gonna be talking about is starter deck Black Luffy from ST14.
My back is against the wall. This is not a test. It's the real deal. Help me. Help me. Nigga. Help me.
This has been a very popular deck, pretty much an anti-meta deck. If you want to pick a deck that literally just counters the meta right now, go ahead and pick this deck, because this is an anti-meta deck, but it does not matter because we're gonna pack it up like we usually do on the channel. Fact, not an opinion. But before we do that, let me know below how your deck personally matches up against this deck and how you personally beat Black Luffy with your personal deck. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into the video, gang. Let's get it. Welcome back, y'all. Let's go ahead and get straight into it. This list you guys see on the screen right now is a tournament topping list. I'm not sure what it's from, but it's from One Piece Top Deck. So if you guys actually want to play this deck, this is a good list to go off of. I'm not sure if it's good or bad because I don't play anti-meta strategies, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and read what this leader does. Monkey D Luffy, Black, 5 life leader, Don ×1, give all your characters +1 cost. If you control a cost 8 or higher character, this leader gains a +1000 power. So pretty much in a nutshell, if you control a cost 8 or higher, this becomes a 6 attacking leader. And that's actually really easy to get to in this deck just because of this brand new jack that was just added to the game. This deck really does excel by having this particular jack, but we're gonna go over all these cards real quick. So now with that being said, let's go over every single card briefly, and then we're gonna actually show you the key cards and how to beat this deck. Okay, so this card right here is a cost reduction popper wall. It's attacking. This is a pretty much a KO effect removal. This is a cost reduction and also a draw, a cost reduction. This is a crazy blocker. This is a very good boss monster at 9k power, pretty much ripping cards from your opponent's hands. If you have 6 or more cards, very strong card. This is a searcher. This is the best blocker in the game, the best black blocker in the game, the most craziest card at the moment. Everybody's crying for a ban, but y'all just need to you know, deal with it. Jack, crazy card added for the game, cost reduction. So I will get into Jack a little bit later. This is cost reduction. This is a KO popper. This is a cost reduction, and this is also a cost reduction. So that's a brief summary of what every single card does in the deck. Let's go over what's the cards to actually look for in the deck. Okay, so these are the cards you really have to look out for. We do have quite a few black cards on the list compared to some of my other how to beat videos, but that's because we haven't went over black in a while, and also in OP08 we did get some brand new cards such as this jack. So let's go over all these cards briefly, and then we'll actually show you guys how to pack up this deck. This pretty much functions as a 6k leader as long as you have a cost 8 or higher, and the fact that this leader actually always, you know, upscales all of your characters' costs by 1. This is very easy to obtain. The main way they obtain this is by dropping this jack. This jack is actually crazy as well. If you guys don't see what it does, you may rest this card, draw 1 card, and trash 1 card for your hand, then KO up to one of your opponents from 3 or less. So this pretty much just shits on Bonnie. This is actually a very crazy crack card, not only in Black Luffy but also Lucci. This is one of the cards that's really, you know, setting Black apart of everything else. On top of that, Gecko Moria, we don't even need to talk about Gecko Moria because it's so strong at the moment. It does get power creep once the structure decks, and especially when OP09 comes out. If you guys didn't see my community post with the topping decks, there's literally only 1 black deck with Gecko Moria topping, and that is Lucci, and that's literally at the bare minimum. So this is actually getting power creep out the game when OP09 comes out. So if you are bitching about this card, just go ahead and wait and just deal with it, bro. Just deal with it. Next card we have right here is the Rebecca. This is a very strong card. Just mind you, when they summon this, will be returning 1 black character from their trash to their hand. So always be wary of this. So pretty much they're always going to have something in the hand they can use after using the Rebecca. This is the best blocker of the game, and the main reason why this particular blocker is on, you know, pretty much cards to look out for, because once this card is summoned, you have blanket immunity to all KO effects. Very strong, one of the best blockers in the game. This card makes you pay attention to your hand. Okay, issue very, very base stats card. So pretty much always keep in mind what your hand size is like. Don't come into this matchup with, you know, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards in hand. Try to stay around 5, 6, 7. Because if you do that, issue's almost always a dead card on summon. This is one of the most key cards, if not the most important cards in this deck, is this ﷺ. Pretty much it drops your opponent's or your character's cost down by 4 and a draw. The main reason why this is so good, because if you guys don't get rid of this, it just keeps on dropping down all your characters by -4. Get this off the board once you see it. Brook, pretty much when you see this on board, get this off the field once you see it, because every time it attacks, it can pop something on top of dropping some character's cost down by a -1. This card is just something to look out for. There's nothing you can really do about it, but they do have this in the back pocket. You'll see this in the video a little bit later when I end up playing against this deck with my BY Luffy. This is another major card, pretty much the icing on the cake. These two cards are probably some of the most important cards you guys need to get rid of. You see these two cards, you need to get rid of them immediately. Main reason why is because this deck struggles with cost reduction outside of Ice Age. So the biggest thing about this deck is just really getting rid of these two cards. Anytime you guys ever see an activate main on your opponent's side of the field, you always need to get rid of it, because if you don't, it's pretty much free pluses or free effects every single turn. So this is pretty much every single card you really do need to look out for at the moment. So with all that being said, let's get into how you beat this deck. How do you actually beat this deck? The first way to really hinder this deck greatly is make this deck go first. Okay, you always make this deck go first, because if you do, they are no longer on the ﷺ curve, they're no longer on the issue curve, there's no longer on the Rebecca curve, they're no longer on the Gecko curve, and they're also no longer on the Nico Robin curve. Okay, the second way to beat this deck, since we are talking about Nico Robin, is to get rid of kushan and Nico Robin. Pretty much this deck really functions off these two cards, because this is how they get most of their cost reduction. If you look at a lot of these cards in this deck, they don't really have too much cost reduction like that, to the point where, you know, they're okay if they don't play these two. If this deck does not play these two cards and they're always off the field, they're pretty much going to be assed out 9 times out of 10. And it's also a reason why you also make them go first. If you ever see a kushan, Nico Robin, and really a Jack on field, okay, try to get rid of all these three, but mainly these two. Okay, these are the bread and butter of the whole entire deck. If you guys ever see these two on the field, you need to prioritize and get them off. Once they start getting to the point where they have both of these on the field and they can just start hitting -6 costs every single turn, you pretty much just lost the game. Because if they can, you know, consistently do that throughout the game, and they got Jack on the board, all they really have to do is turn this sideways and they're getting popped. So this is the bread and butter of the deck. Make it go first and pretty much remove these as fast as possible. Okay, that is probably the #1 way to really beat this deck. And the last way to really beat this deck is to win your die roll. Okay, hopefully you end up getting to choose if you can go first or second, because this deck will always vote to go second because it has all these powerful cards. Okay, I'm gonna just keep it a stack of you. Black has the best card pool right now. We're actually kind of playing in a fake format at the moment. I consider this a fake format, because this format's really only going to last for another 2 or 3 weeks until the structure decks come out. And once the structure decks do come out for this particular deck, this deck takes a huge back seat. This will probably no longer be a top 3 or top 5, maybe not even a top 10 deck, because Lucci will no longer be the best deck in the format, because Doofy just spins the block and fucks everybody's bitch. Okay, so, you know, if you guys do want to play this fake format, you got some regionals, this is a good deck to play. But in the long run, you know, just pick up something else for the structure decks. That's all I got. Let's go ahead and get straight to the gameplay, gang. Let's get it. All right, we finally got a game. We definitely gonna go second, but look, it does not matter, because it's YGOD. Yellow gang or die. Ooh. YGOD, that's all the game, man. Shout out to all my delinquents.
This is a certified hood classic.
Yo, we are back. We are back. It's our first turn. We're gonna use this search and we're gonna get the big Luffy. We're definitely gonna get this big Luffy, and then we're gonna end up getting another guard search, and we're gonna go ahead and look, we already have everything in hand. We might as well just get the big Sabo. Okay. And I think that's all we got. On to you, Chief.
Good God.
Hey, Chiefster.
I'm gonna keep it stacked with you. I think this is a 50-50 type of matchup. Some people say that, you know, this Luffy has a better matchup into us, but I feel like it's more so of a 50-50. He attacks 8k at lead. We're gonna take that. And yeah, like I said, the whole gist of this matchup is to get the Nico Robin. We're gonna first go out into the Flampy. Okay, and it's our turn. We could do the Hiyori. No, we're not gonna do the Hiyori. We'll probably save Hiyori for next turn. He might just attack half face. We could use this Garb. Yeah, we'll just use this Garb. We do get the big ace. We definitely need one of those for later. And I might just put 2 on Luffy and attack at 7 at lead. Attack 7 at lead. There's no way you counter out. He takes that. And yeah, y'all, pretty much in a nutshell, this Black Luffy's about to get his lunch money took.
Tell him to bring me my money.
We about to definitely snatch that shit up, okay? Everybody's been talking about Black is so, you know, broken, Black this, Black that. I mean, bro, I'm gonna keep it a stack of you guys. You guys need to just deal with the metas, okay? Y'all just really just need to deal with the metas. After the ban list, and I saw Gecko didn't get hit, he goes out in the Sabo. We're just gonna keep on talking about you because he ain't really doing nothing right now. Once I already saw the ban list, I already knew it's time to just move forward. I'm not even going to talk about Gecko no more. And the street is still talking about it like they bitch just cheated on them crazy. We have 6 Don. It's our turn. We can't do nothing against that Sabo. I think it might be time for us to use the Hiyori play, okay? Like I said earlier, the biggest thing with this deck is slowing them down by making them go first. First off, we're going to attack at lead at 7. Okay. Try to get some counter out. Cool. And just go straight onto the Kuzan. We're gonna play our own Kuzan because I want him to have a response. I want him to do something against this Kuzan, because if you don't, this is gonna stay on the field and we're actually gonna use their strategy against you, because like I said earlier, this Monkey D Luffy really does drive off of this Kuzan. He doesn't even summon the Kuzan, he summons the 8 cost, 7 cost Jack. So now, you know, we're almost in a pretty much, I wouldn't say bad position. I think we're still pretty decent. Nothing really too crazy. He does go into the Jack. He's at a +4 cost, so that means he's at 11. He actually pops my Flampy for some reason. Don't understand why he did that, but it's all good. It's our turn. We're now on our 8th Don, and he did not get rid of our Kuzan. That actually might come back to hurt him, because now I'm about to start cycling out. We're definitely about to start cycling out. So we're going to use this Hiyori. Take the bottom life. Damn, if I would have known that was on top the whole time. Pause, pause, pause. No Diddy, no Diddy. We do not have an ace in hand. Should we just go straight into the Luffy? Let's go straight to the Luffy. Bring the Luffy back. Use the effect. We did lose the Ice Age, but it's good because we already got 1 in hand, and we could actually use the leader effect again just because we already got rid of our life. So we're gonna go ahead and discard 1 card from our hand. I think that's Sabo, and then we could go Luffy first, Sabo second, because I don't care if this Luffy, I don't care if that Luffy goes back to the deck because we already got 1 on field. We're gonna summon this Sabo. We have blanket protection. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of 1 card from the hand. We ended up getting those 2 cards. So now we actually have the ace in the grave to cycle this out. We're actually looking really, really solid right now. We definitely are. We definitely are. We're gonna attack at this Jack. Should we attack this Jack? Yeah, we're gonna attack this Jack. Make him give me some counter. Give me some counter. Definitely give me some counter. Yes, sir. Give me that. Give me that, bro. Give me that. So we're actually playing this very, very well right now. Sorry, I haven't really been editing like that, but I'm just really focused on trying to beat in this deck, to be honest with you guys. We're going to attack at lead for 5. Get rid of all the costs. Plus that this Jack ended up getting. He's going to counter out, which is completely fine. And it's his turn. So now we have blanket protection for our whole entire turn. And this is the thing too, is that you can go ahead and get rid of the Kuzans and the Nico Robins, but another way that this deck really does lose is do pretty much KO protection, because if you have KO protection, his Jack pretty much does nothing to your board. So in my opinion, I feel like he should probably try to attack this Kuzan. Once Kuzan is on the board, you have to get rid of Kuzan. If he does not, he actually goes out to this Gecko. Oh my God.
Oh no!
He actually does the Gecko. Well, hello there.
Oh my.
He actually goes into everyone's worst nightmare, Gecko Moria. And the thing about this Gecko Moria drop is that he has no Sabo protection. And it also looks like he may not try to attack my Kuzan. He better attack my Kuzan. If he don't attack my Kuzan, that's another thing too. I've been doing game after game against this deck, and every time I play against this deck and they know I'm about to cook them and put them in a pack, they end up quitting. So hopefully this guy doesn't quit, but knowing most black Luffy players, they just rage quit once they realize they can't win. Okay, so it's our turn. We're gonna use leader ability. I don't know why he didn't attack, but we just pretty much get a free plus. So this is what we're gonna do. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We are okay from any type of popping that he could do on his field, because we do have a cycle with the Sabo. We do have an ace in the grave, and we also do have a rocket Luffy. So I think the best thing for us to do right now, okay, you hear me, gang, you hear me, I feel like the best thing for us to do is to not go into Gecko. I know a lot of people will probably say, oh well, we have the Gecko play. No, you don't always need to go on Gecko. I got two. Actually, we don't got two. We can actually have to get a Garp search, because if we end up hitting the Garp search, okay, we do have a Luffy in the grave. You guys see right here, we do have a Luffy in the grave. But if we do end up hitting this Garp search for the Luffy, we don't even need to go into Gecko Moria. And then on top of that, we could drop some Ice Ages, because my biggest thing is we have to get rid of this Gecko. And we actually hit the Luffy.
Yes, sir!
We actually hit the Luffy, boy. We are cooking over here.
Yeah, boy.
Hell yeah. So now we don't even need to drop our Gecko. Okay, so now we about to do some shiesty ass shit. So my biggest thing is we're gonna put one Don onto Kuzan, put him at 6, so we can just try to get some counter out of hand. I don't think he's going to block this. So, and then we're gonna actually drop this Gecko, because in my opinion, I don't like any character that can attack me just straight at 9 without no Don investment. So we have to get rid of this Gecko, in my opinion. So we're gonna get rid of this Gecko. I don't care about this Jack right now, because if I get out another Sabo, his whole entire Vect is turned off. He pretty much just turns into a beat stick at this point. So what we're gonna do right now is that we are going to drop this Gecko. Okay, he's thinking on the counter. Okay, he counters out. That's cool. We want to try to bait out all the things he has in his hand. I don't know what he has in his hand, but we're gonna bait all that out. We're gonna go straight into our leader effect, and we're definitely gonna go straight into, I'm looking, so Gecko is at -3, so he's at 5. So I think it's time for us to go straight into, I think we're gonna go out into the Sabo and the Rocket Luffy. We're gonna Ice Age this Gecko. This dude's gonna be sick, bro. This guy's gonna be sick. He's doing my own combo against me. Yeah, I know. Fucking your bitch too, bro. Fuck is you talking about? We gonna bounce back this Rocket Luffy, pop this Gecko. So now we're not even worried about this Gecko anymore. We're gonna bounce this back, bounce back the Sabos. Now we have blanket protection. We have 6 counter in the hand, and he already knew he lost the game.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. This shit is crazy. This shit is crazy. He knew he lost once I brought out a second Sabo, because he know I had the blanket protection. And when we actually take a gander at his hand, he had nothing but everything I told you to look out for. The Kuzans, the Ice Age. I'm telling you, you make this deck go first, and especially if you're playing another black deck with some KO immunity, this deck almost gets pretty much put in a pack, okay? If you guys have any more questions or any more advice on how to beat this deck, let us know below. But this is pretty much how you pack this thing up. Look, that's all I got. But look, before I go, if you was feeling the vibes, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. It out.